Hello everyone. I will be explaining the code for the assignment of the branch of technologies. So this is the code for the NAPA. This is same from the ShadCn UI website documentations. Just I have edited the necessary thing for this assignment. Next we'll see the code for the body. This is the main code. We can see clearly. I'm explaining from the thing rendering. There are two components. One is the input bar. Second is the resizable area in which all the graphs are rendered. So input is a ShadCn input custom input and a button for enter. Here I am conditionally rendering the contents inside the button. If its submitting is true, then React Lucid loader will be rendered. If it is false, then simple enter button. Here's a handle submit and the input is setting the username as soon as there is a change on change event is triggered. All the variables are declared here. There is submitting all the variables are states of the React and the username you have seen these two are used. There are data and table data which I'll explain eventually. So this is the handle submit function and the enter button. As soon as the function is triggered, the submitting is true and we enter the try catch block. So inside the try, we are fetching from the API of public events API. Here we are dynamically inserting the username. This was the condition for using the API. Second, we are checking if the events we are fetched the event successfully. After it, we are extracting the length of the array of objects which we are in the response getting array of objects. So we are taking out its length, all the event because we are using since we are using Axios, we have to do the response dot data to get the response proper response. And we are creating a map, data map of each record being string and event count. Event count is this a type of this type in which these are all the public events that are GitHub API making us available. Sorry for the grammar. Um, so this is the event count, and here we are created a type, const event types, which is a read only array of these events. Okay, and in this line, we are creating type for each of these event types from type of event type. This number, this is all done because we are using TypeScript, so we have to maintain the type safety. And this is the type for table data. So the constant data, see the all the data state which are created is a array of event counts. Remember this. So we were inside the handle function try block. If the events, then we have created the string comma event count map. So we are traversing, we are looping over the length of all the array. Const event. We are taking event one by one. Events is the we have retrieved all the events in the events, and from this is an array in which we are extracting each element of the array. So from the event we are extracting created at and const event type and created at type will give us the all the public events which I have shown earlier, the push event and etc. And created at is the on which date and time and month this event has created. This code is for getting the proper format of the date. First, we are creating a new instance of date from the date extracted. Date is a string extracted from the API response. Then we are creating instance of date, then extracting the full year, then month. In this code, we are extracting the month and padding it with 0 first. We are adding it because months are 0 base index and padding 0 because the format is YYY, MM, and DD. So if it is first to 9 months, we have to give 09. This is I have only kept the constraint, nothing hard. You can put any format of the date, and the date is stored in the formatted date. So in this, if data map has an entry of this date, it does not have an entry of the date, then the entry is created in the map with this all this. After this entry is created, we are checking if event types include event types as event type event. See, we have extracted the event type here. So event types was the array. I'll show you. Event types was the array here. See, event types was the array which I have already array of all the events or read only events. So if this array includes the event type that we have extracted from the API, so we'll compute and we are making sure that the event type which we have got from the API is of this event type, and because data map is which we have created is of type string and event count. Though we have already checked it is that event from the API is of event type, but the for TypeScript will treat event type as a string only, not as a event type. Sorry, event type. That's why we have to write this line. Otherwise, if we directly write without this, then error will be shown for undefined plus plus. We don't want this. That's why we have again verified it with this line and then updated the map. This map is the count of all the frequencies with date of which event. Suppose in a day you did a event of push event, then pull event, and issue event, 3 events in a single day. So their numbers frequency will be increased for that count purpose. And the data for the map, we are converting map from an array through this line and setting this to the data here. Why I'm storing this to so that I can feed this data to the bar graph which will display the data in a graphical format. And this data has a fixed format. That's why we are creating an array of objects of this type, like date and then all the array and all the public events. So far so good. And there's a catch part. If any error occurs, then we are console logging the error, Axios, checking for Axios error, and then showing a toast of the error. And finally, we are using final block for is submitting false. This was the first handle submit for the bar graph, and we are submitting the bar graph the data array of objects which we have created. And the second block, resizable block, is also a ShadCn component in which we get a resizable blocks. I have edited as per the assignment requirement, and in one block I have created put the bar graph, and second block I have put the ShadCn table. So the second try catch block in same handle submit is this for fetching all the repos of GitHub API. So same where at the try catch is submitting true. We are from Axios, we are fetching the all the information of the repos of the username which are public. So same extracting the length of the array of objects which we have received, putting the array of objects into the repo and creating a empty array, looping in the array of objects, then storing each entry in temp repo, extracting the name, language, HTML URL from the API, and making a new entry in the empty array as an object of name, language, and link, and setting the table data from which we have created here already. And at last, there is a catch block again for Axios error and showing the toast of the error. And in finally block, we are telling this submitting false. This submitting is here this variable, and I've shown the conditionally we are using React loader, React loader. Is submitting is true, then loading is there, otherwise enter, which I've shown earlier. And the remaining part is bar graph and the table code. So we'll start with the bar graph. This is the code for the bar graph. The standard ShadCn UI component. I have edited the necessary information like this GitHub activity and select event distribution. I have edited this component for which every event is available in the heading as a button, and you click and the bar graph will be conditionally rendered according to that event only. So this is a JavaScript block for which it is mapping over chart config. Chart config is this array of these objects. All the public events are listed here, label and color. This was constraint of the ShadCn graph component. After this, if the action will be returned because action don't want, we want to render the buttons of public events. So this is the button in which key is key, name, and active chart is equal to key. Active chart is this. Active chart is a state, React state, in which is a type of chart config which I have shown earlier. And this is the first push event. We have to feed a first key, which is not optional. We have to feed the first key. If this matches the key, then this CSS will apply. Otherwise, this CSS will apply, which means which button is selected. We are getting to know by this, and all the buttons are rendered through this map. And active chart. This is also active. If when we click on the active chart, then the active chart state will be updated according to which key has been pressed. Second part of this is this chart container. Very basic. Nothing much to apply. We have to feed the chart config into this, and the bar chart. We have to feed the data chart data. Chart data is coming as a prop, which I have shown earlier in the body. We are setting the data, here from the APIs, which I have explained already, and sending it as a prop inside the bar graph. This is coming as a prop. So chart config, and we feed the data, all the already written bar graph, etc. And total, it is counting the event in total how many event it is showing. I can show you the total code follow. It is using memo. Memo updates the code according to the dependency. Dependency is chart data, which is coming as soon as the data comes. It calculates all the events total. It is creating a dynamic map. We are for each loop for each of the event, public event. If not action, only for the public event, not for the action. And we are setting everything to 0. Then again for chart, we are looping on the chart data for each entry. We are taking the value. If the value as a key as of entry, and the value is number when we are adding the value to corresponding. Same as the CPP code where map where key plus plus. Same thing is happening here. It looks complicated, but that's the simple thing. And dependency is charted. Therefore, we are putting the active chart, which I've shown earlier. Upon clicking any button, the active chart is set, like push event and other all event, and then its total will be displayed here. You can check the posted link for all this which I have seen. And last thing is table component. This is also ShadCn UI component. I have changed necessary data here also. List of public repos, name, GitHub link. So table data is main content is here, which is mapping on table data. Table data is created in the body, which I have shown. I'll show you again. This is the table data which is set, and the second API call, yeah, this for repos, setting the table data here. So this and name, link, and language is rendered here, and total is just the length. It is table data is array of objects same, so it is conditionally rendered into total. If table data is present, not present, then 0 is rendered. Otherwise, table length minus 1. I have to do this array of 0 because it was rendering -1 unnecessarily. So I have to use this. This was the whole idea of my code. I can show you the theme provider is ShadCn for dark theme, light theme, which I have applied. This is also ShadCn, nothing new. And these are all the UI components I have used. Sonar is the new toast name of the ShadCn, all input, etc. App dot. This is the app.js, navbar body toaster, and main.js strict mode is the already comes from the package. Browser router is I have added browser router because we are using React router DOM link everywhere. This is ReactJS, not Next.js, so React router DOM link we are using to in order to work that link we have to wrap up with router DOM app.js router. And theme provider for dark theme, light theme of ShadCn, we have to wrap this also. This was pretty much my solution and the method of coding. Hope you understood everything. Thank you.